Welcome to Write, Publish, and Market Your Book 1, Lesson 1. Overview of Publishings. This section will cover the many ways of publishing a novel, along with the listed pros and cons. Traditional publishing. Traditional publishing is the method of working with an actual publisher and getting a novel released officially. This method often consists of you reaching out to an agent and submitting a query letter where they'll respond with yes or no. Some might give suggestions, but most of the time, none will tell you what is wrong. Traditional publishing pros and cons. Pros: you get paid upfront. You get residuals, aka royalties. Your book gets put into a catalog. Your book is accessible to retail and libraries. Your book is available to distributors. Your book may get listed in a magazine. They will create your cover and other art. They will take care of ISBNs, etc. They are professionals who want to sell your book. You will have a good-looking product. You may get a few free copies to give away as promotion. They will do some marketing. You gain credibility. You don't have to warehouse or distribute your books. Book returns are possible. And most importantly, your books will be considered real. Cons: you have to pursue them. Pursuing and convincing takes time. They will largely own your book. They will tell you to make many changes. They have deadlines. They might hurt your feelings with what they say. They might not do much to help sell it. You still have to promote yourself. You might not get rich or famous, and there probably won't be a marketing budget for your book. And most importantly, you make less per book sold. Self-publishing, pros and cons. Pros: you are more in control. You can choose your cover. You get to choose the price. You choose what it looks like. You get what you pay for mostly. You can also spend as much or little time as you want on promotion, and you are also the salesperson. Cons: the first one will be a test product. You may need to hire a print artist. You have to pay for the book. You have to buy the ISBN number. Your book can't get into chain stores. You will have to promote it. There are no returns. And the quality might not be the same as those in stores. And you will also have to personally edit it or hire an editor to help you. Self-publishing ebook. Pros and cons of self-publishing an ebook: an electronic version of a printed book that can be read on a computer or a handheld device designed specifically for the purpose. Pros: uploading is very simple. If you go with a company, you can leave it be and let it go. Large companies have people come to them. Passive marketing or none is possible. Your book can go international. You can choose an on-demand option. It can be nearly instantaneous, and it can also be added to existing novels on Amazon. For example, if you have a physical version of a novel available and you decide you want an ebook version, you can attach the two together so when people look up your book on Amazon, they can choose which version they would like to buy. Cons: marketing tends to be more difficult. You might not earn a lot. It can be harder to sell. And if you upload it to your own website, marketing will be required. And you have to find ways to sell. Collaborative publishing. Please take note of this section. Pros: you have some control. You will get help from the publisher. You can choose your cover. They will help you get the ISBN number. You can choose your price. You can choose what it looks like. You get what you pay for mostly. You don't have to deal with a printer or binder. You can purchase more books as needed. They warehouse your book for you, and you can spend as much or little time as you want on promotion. Cons: the first one will be a test product. You have to pay the publisher upfront. They might nickel and dime you to death, which we will explain in the next panel. You might need to hire a print artist. Your book will not be able to get into chain stores. You will have to promote it yourself. You must become a salesperson. The product might not be perfect. The quality may not be the same as those in stores. You may not own all the rights to your book. There are no returns. You may have to pay a lot of money to correct errors. Collaborative publishing continued. As mentioned prior, collaborative publishers will nickel and dime you to death. They are a paid service, so they will ensure you take the most expensive route and/or package when working with them. They tend to charge you by the page for error fixes or typo corrections. You are more or less at their mercy of their honesty. When you hand your manuscript over, who's to say they'll make some typos for you to pay for? There have been students from the class who have mentioned the scenario above happening to them. There are other cases mentioned online as well. Another thing to note is everyone writes subjectively different. So an editor from a collaborative publisher could even look at your work in a perspective meant to make more money from you. For example, they might try to seek out grammar errors or possibly even create them, which has happened to other students in the past, where they have submitted their manuscript and the company says there are typos or grammar errors on certain pages, but when the student looked at her manuscript, there were no issues on her version of it. So it's always good to keep that in mind when working with companies like this. It is highly advised to do thorough research on a collaborative publisher before using their services. The amount of money you'd spend on a collaborative publisher can easily be spent by you personally and have a greater value, being paying your cover art and illustrations, buying an ISBN number, hiring an editor, investing into marketing, paying for a booth at a convention, and so much more. They are a business meant to make money. They make their money from people like you and me. Your book might not be the true focus of their goal. I also want to state that there very well can and could be legitimate collaborative publishers. It's merely good to take note of these things when using one. Research a company if you must, and find people discussing about the company in forums. What's best for you? Now, with a better grasp of the publishing routes, take a moment to ponder on what path would be most ideal for you. Do you personally feel your story has to be told in a specific manner? Self-publishing might be your more desirable in the end. Want people to be able to sit at a coffee shop and enjoy your books? Ebooks could be the cup of tea you're looking for. Want your book in a corporate store for the world to see? The hard path of traditional publishing could be the true and tried way for you. Note, when submitting a novel for traditional publishing, it's likely that it can't be sent or used elsewhere while waiting for a response from the company. This is when having multiple projects could come into play. You can have a novel or two you're constantly submitting to companies while you self-publish your own personal series and still grow as a writer. Some traditional companies can take up to a year or even longer to respond, so always keep that in mind. Assignment. Your first assignment will be to create a working title and bio and employ a writing plan. If you already have a title and bio, reimagine your current title or even enhance your bio for practice. Your bio should consist of one paragraph and even try to make it fit the theme of your novel. Don't hesitate to pick up your favorite book to see its bio and pitch. Your bio can be used for all your works and pieces. It'll also be nifty to have a description of yourself to share should you get a press release, do an interview on a podcast, etc. Now to learn about writing plans, queries, and what our bio should entail. The writing plan. This guide will assist you regardless of your current stage of work, whether you're not started, you already have a book halfway written, or you're already done writing a book. These methods and suggestions can be employed at any stage of your work. 1. Your plan should include regular times to write, even if it's once a week, in the space that makes you most comfortable, without rules besides showing up. No rewriting is to be done at this outset. 2. General idea of where the story is going should include a working title, working chapter headings, if it's fiction, character analysis, know your genre, know how your story is different in that genre. 3. Your biography/resume should include where you have been published, where you have worked and for how many years, how you are related to the book genre, any clubs of which you have been a part of, any awards of any kind that you have won, where you reside and your general interest, any places where you have spoken. 4. Find an editor or critique group. You can also ask fellow students if any are currently beta reading for others and would like to help you also. If you have trouble finding an editor or a critique group, you can always turn to friends or family. When finding someone for feedback, you always want somebody that's the most honest. 5. Several works in the works. One finished work that has been sent out, have one that's being currently revised, and have another that's currently being created. Having multiple projects at different stages can be very beneficial in helping you constantly keeping a nice flow of progress. 6. A clear idea of the genre and the specific publishers or agents you are systematically approaching, or investigation of self-publishers with which you might want to work with. Keep a calendar to keep track of send-outs or requests, and follow up as needed or required. 7. A good query for each completed novel. Work on one also for new works. 8. An ongoing list of ways or ideas to market each specific book. 9. Join a writer's club, or even create one. 10. Write a blog, finishing or starting your book, things to do, and ask yourself to get your novel polished into a fine gem. What's your book about? Have an elevator speech, a 1-minute sentence describing your book. Write a working title. Cute, memorable, or mysterious is better. You may want to have a 2-part title, example being Wind and Wing, a love story from the greatest generation, or Beginning Astrology, all you need to know to read your chart. What is the genre of your book? Search in the bookstore. Find the publishers that publish the kind of books you think you want to write. Set a time to write. What works for you? Pick reasonable options for you, daily or weekly. And find a comfort zone. Some folks like to write in a quiet zone or a beautiful place. Some like commotion or coziness. Get your place ready and then set your appointment with yourself and keep your appointment. Set deadlines for yourself. Plan to put part of it online or show someone on a certain day. That will help you keep promises to yourself. Sometimes urgency can be helpful. How far along are you? Do you have a plan? Where's the book going to go? Write chapter headings, make an outline, or write a page on each character. What is your beginning? Where does it end? What's in the middle? Make a list of people who could advise you, editors, experts in your fields or genre, or even fellow writers, or maybe someone you look up to. Get a business card that says you are a writer, author, or expert. You might even get one that has the name of your book to help you feel like a writer and give you incentive to finish. This is psychological stuff to help you on your way. Get an ISBN number or TIN at Bowker.com. We will also go over ISBN numbers in a future lesson. Write your bio, a 1-liner, a 1-paragrapher, and something longer for the publisher. What would you write for the back cover of your book? What picture of yourself would you use? Join a group that is already doing it, like Weight Watchers, but for writers. Romance Writers of America, Society for Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, etc. If there are no groups, create one. You need networking and moral support. And remember, do it just right. Do not worry at first about grammar or punctuation, just live your passion. Make it a priority. Do not worry about failure or whether it will get published or not, just do it. Later on, you can get an expert to help you. Worry is a debt you pay in advance that you may never owe. Lesson 1 conclusion. This is the longest lesson of the entire curriculum, and you can always return if you need to review any of the stuff we went over. You learned quite a bit, so give yourself a big congratulations and don't hesitate to return to this lesson to go over the information given. Again, your assignment for lesson 1 is to create a working title and bio, write a book outline, and create a writing schedule, and stick to it. And now we will click the home button to return to the lesson hub. And that concludes lesson 1 of the curriculum. Thank you for partaking in the lesson. Don't forget to like the video if it helped. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and be sure to subscribe for more writing related content. See you in the next video.